As the seasons change, so do the needs of your garden. Today we'll guide you through preparing your garden for the winter chill. The frosty air, the snow-covered ground, the bare trees. Winter brings a different kind of beauty, but it also brings challenges for our beloved green spaces. However, fear not, because a winter garden doesn't have to be a barren one. Winter can be tough on gardens, but with the right preparation, your plants can not only survive, but thrive. Join us as we explore essential winter preparation techniques. Every garden is unique, and understanding its specific needs during winter is crucial. So where do we begin? Well, it all starts with understanding your garden's hardiness zone. Hardiness zones are geographic areas defined by the average minimum winter temperature. They can guide you in choosing plants that will thrive in your garden's unique climate. From tropical zones where winter may just mean a slight chill, to northern climates that face heavy snow and freezing temperatures, each zone has its own set of winter garden care guidelines. Now let's talk about winter weather patterns. These can vary greatly, even within the same hardiness zone. Some gardens might get a thick blanket of snow, which can actually protect plants from extreme cold. Others might face freezing rain, ice, or wild temperature swings that can be tough on plants. Understanding your typical winter weather can help you prepare your garden to weather the winter weather. Pun intended. Your garden's specific needs will also depend on the types of plants you're growing. Some plants are winter hardy and can fend off the cold without much help. Others might need a bit more care, like extra mulch for insulation or a protective cover on particularly cold nights. And let's not forget about your soil. Winter can take a toll on soil health, making it harder for your plants to thrive come spring. But don't worry, we'll dive into specific strategies for protecting and nurturing your soil in winter a bit later in this guide. But for now, remember this: every garden is different. What works for your neighbor's garden might not work for yours. The key is to understand your garden's unique winter needs and then take steps to meet those needs. This might involve a bit of research, some careful observation, and perhaps even some trial and error. But the reward will be a garden that not only survives the winter but thrives, ready to burst into life when spring arrives. Knowing your garden's winter needs is the first step towards successful preparation. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work, shall we? A clean garden is a healthy garden. As we transition from the vibrant hues of fall to the stark beauty of winter, it's important to make sure our gardens are tidy and ready to withstand the coming chill. First on our cleaning agenda is the removal of dead plants. While these might add a touch of aesthetic melancholy, they can harbor pests and disease, so it's best to remove them promptly. Make sure to compost them if possible, turning potential waste into valuable nutrient-rich compost for your garden. Next, we turn to raking leaves. While a carpet of autumn leaves might be picturesque, it can also suffocate your lawn and provide a haven for pests. So, gather up those leaves and put them to good use. They make excellent compost or mulch. If you're not composting, consider starting. It's an excellent way to recycle garden and kitchen waste into something your garden will love. Moving on, we have clearing debris. This includes anything that might have found its way into your garden: fallen branches, litter, or even lost toys. Keeping your garden clear not only helps it look its best, but also prevents potential hiding spots for pests and diseases. And let's not forget about the garden beds. If you have perennials, cut back and tidy them up. If you have annuals, now's the time to remove them. They've done their job and it's time to let them go. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds like a lot of work, but remember, a clean garden is a less inviting place for pests and diseases. Plus, it gives your plants the best possible start for the coming spring. So, grab your gardening gloves, pull on your boots, and let's get cleaning. A clean garden is less inviting to pests and diseases, so don't skip this step. Remember, the effort you put into your garden now will pay dividends when spring rolls around and your garden emerges from its winter slumber ready to burst into life. Shield your plants from the cold. As winter's icy grip tightens, it's crucial to protect your plants from frost and freezing temperatures. But how do we do this? Let's delve into 3 simple yet effective methods: applying mulch, wrapping trees, and using frost covers. First up, mulch. This layer of organic material serves as an insulating blanket for your soil. It helps to maintain soil temperature, reducing the impact of freezing and thawing cycles that can damage plant roots. Mulch can be made from a variety of materials, including straw, wood chips, or fallen leaves. Simply spread a thick layer around your plants, but remember to keep it away from plant stems to avoid rot. Next, we have tree wrapping. This is particularly beneficial for young trees with thin bark, as they are more susceptible to winter sun scorch and frost cracks. To wrap a tree, start from the base and wind upwards in a spiral, overlapping each layer slightly. You can use burlap or a special tree wrap for this task. Just make sure to remove the wrap in spring to prevent moisture buildup and possible pest infestations. Lastly, let's talk about frost covers. These are essentially blankets for your plants, providing an extra layer of protection on particularly frosty nights. They are ideal for tender perennials and annuals that need that little bit of extra care. Drape the cover over your plants before sunset to trap the heat released from the soil and remove it in the morning once the frost has thawed. Proper insulation can make the difference between a plant surviving the winter or not. By applying mulch, wrapping your trees and using frost covers, you can ensure your garden is armored against the cold. Remember, a little bit of effort now can save you a lot of heartache when spring arrives and your plants emerge stronger and healthier, ready to burst into bloom. So let's get out there and shield our plants from the cold. Even in winter, your garden has needs. That's right. Even as the temperature drops and the days shorten, your garden still requires attention, particularly in the watering and feeding department. First off, let's talk about watering. While it's true that plants need less water in the colder months, they still need some. Water acts as an insulator, helping to protect roots from freezing temperatures. However, it's crucial to strike a balance. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering leaves the plants susceptible to the cold. So how do you find the sweet spot? Well, the answer lies in the soil. If it's dry 2 inches below the surface, it's time to water. And remember, it's always best to water in the morning, allowing excess moisture to evaporate during the day. Now let's shift gears and talk about feeding your garden. Just like us, plants need a balanced diet to stay healthy, and in winter that includes a good dose of potassium. This essential nutrient helps plants resist diseases and cope with cold. You can provide this through a winter fertilizer, which is typically higher in potassium. Apply it to the soil around your plants, ensuring they have the nutrients necessary to brave the winter chill. But what about the plants that have gone dormant? They don't need feeding, right? Actually, that's a common misconception. While it's true that dormant plants aren't in active growth, they're still alive and need nutrients to stay healthy, so don't neglect them. A light application of fertilizer can go a long way in ensuring they wake up strong and vibrant in the spring. So there you have it. Watering and feeding your garden in winter might require a bit of extra care and attention, but the rewards are well worth the effort. And remember, a well-fed and watered garden is a happy garden. Keep that in mind as you prepare your garden for the winter months, and you'll be well on your way to a flourishing spring garden. Prep your garden's future growth. Now let's dive into 2 essential tasks that winter brings. Pruning and planting. Pruning during winter, while your trees are dormant, is a gardener's secret weapon. It's the perfect time to shape your trees and shrubs, removing any dead or damaged branches. This not only enhances their appearance, but also promotes healthier growth in the warmer months. It's like giving your plants a fresh canvas to flourish when spring arrives. When you prune, remember to make clean, sharp cuts. This helps to prevent disease and damage. Also, focus on removing only the necessary branches. Over-pruning can stress the plant and hinder its growth. On the other hand, winter is also an ideal time for planting certain species. These winter-hardy plants can withstand the cold and get a head start on establishing their roots for the coming year. Some popular winter-hardy plants include pansies, which add vibrant colors to your garden even in the chill, and evergreens, which provide year-round interest and structure. When planting, ensure you dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball of your plant. This gives the roots plenty of room to spread out and establish themselves. Remember, while the garden may seem quiet in winter, these tasks are preparing your plants for a grand show in spring. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get pruning and planting. Pruning and planting in winter sets the stage for a lush, vibrant garden come spring. Care for your tools, and they'll care for your garden. Just like our plants, our gardening tools also need special attention during the winter months. It's important to clean your tools after each use, but it's especially crucial before storing them for winter. Dirt left on tools can corrode the metal, causing them to become dull or even break. So, scrub away any dirt with a stiff brush, rinse and dry them thoroughly to prevent rusting. Sharpening your tools can also be a great winter task. Sharp tools make for easier, more efficient work come spring. You can use a file for larger tools like shovels and shears, and a whetstone for finer blades like pruners. And let's not forget about storage. Storing your tools in a dry place helps prevent rust and keep them in good working order. A shed or a garage can be perfect for this. Proper tool care extends their life and ensures they're ready for use when spring arrives. Dream big for spring. As the frost settles and your garden enters a well-deserved slumber, it's time for you to dream. Dream about the vibrant colors that will spring forth when the snow melts. Dream about the fragrant blooms that will fill the air and the harvest that will fill your table. But dreams alone won't bring the spring. Dreams must be planted, nourished, and cultivated. So grab your garden journals and seed catalogs and start planning. Consider the lessons from the past year. What worked, what didn't, what would you like to try next year? Remember, every garden is an ongoing experiment, a conversation between you and nature. So embrace the winter quiet. It's not just a time for your garden to rest, but also a time for you to plan. Winter is the perfect time to dream, plan, and prepare for the next gardening season.